Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Melissa Francis, filling in today for Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us. A busy hour ahead, but we begin with Donald Trump, the GOP presidential nominee, making his case directly to African-American voters on Saturday, appearing at a church in Detroit. Trump spoke to the congregation and promised to bring jobs back to minority communities and to reverse Democratic policies that he says have failed African-Americans.
I'm here today to learn, so that we can together remedy injustice in any form, and so that we can also remedy economics, so that the African-American community can benefit economically. Nothing is more sad than when we sideline young black men with unfulfilled potential, tremendous potential. I met some people this morning that were incredible people, and they're looking for jobs. These are incredible people, young people. Our whole country loses out when we're unable to harness the brilliance and the energy of these folks. We're one nation, and when anyone hurts, we all hurt together, and that's so true. So true.
The event was not without protests. Several groups gathered outside the church chanting against Trump. Few clashed with police even. After the event, Trump and former GOP presidential candidate Ben Carson toured Carson's old neighborhood in Detroit and visited his childhood home. So the question is, will Donald Trump's message resonate with black voters, a community with which he is far behind Hillary Clinton in the polls? Donald Trump's senior advisor, Tanner Gertz, joins me now. How did he do today? What do you think he accomplished?
I think he did fantastic today. The feedback that I've already received was people love to see that Donald Trump, the Donald Trump that I've known for over a decade. He is a man who does listen to people. He heard the hopes and the dreams and the issues that were affecting African Americans, and he went into that community and he was open-minded and just poured his heart and soul out and just said, I'm here to help.
Okay.
I will create jobs for you.
It is a tough sell. I mean, he is way behind with African American voters, and some say, why do this as opposed to going to Florida, going to a swing state, courting another group of voters where he might have a better chance?
Well, that's a great question, and the answer is because Mr. Trump cares about all Americans, not just African Americans, but all Americans. And he heard that they were desperately looking for help. He heard the hopes of them, and he said, let me go in. I might be misunderstood. And he is misunderstood with the protesters that were out front. So Mr. Trump went in. He shared his heart and soul. He shared that his message was, we are all brothers and sisters with one God, regardless of our colors. And I think it was a home run, and I thought it was perfect. And that's the Donald Trump that I know, the man that really loves people.
Okay, so I understand, his message that within the inner city, if you look at the plight of people who have been abandoned there for a long time, struggling, trying to get ahead, that the policies of Democrats have failed them. But what specifically does he want to do differently?
He wants to create jobs.
How?
At the end of the by having a better economy, by keeping people that are coming into our country illegally, keeping them out of our country, so that all these African-American young men that he's talking about who don't have jobs, who are desperate and don't have a way of putting food on the table, who have given up, that he said were on the streets when they rolled in. He was seeing people just sitting on the streets, desperate, despair, with no hope or any
well, what's an example of a job
that
an illegal immigrant is doing in Detroit, that somebody who you say who's sitting on the side of the street when Donald Trump rolls into town, what's a job that they would want to do that an illegal immigrant is doing right now in that city?
Well, maybe it could be a tile man. I don't know. I haven't asked Mr. Trump this, but I know in my state, there are people that are here that are doing jobs that a lot of college kids would do: electricians, carpentry. There's a long list of various different jobs, and Mr. Trump realizes the reason why we're so divided is because Hillary and the Obama economy has failed us, not just African Americans, but Americans. And with a bad economy, meaning no jobs, people get desperate and do desperate things. Sell drugs, become criminals, hurt one another. And Mr. Trump is he's a job creator. I know this firsthand. He employs tens of thousands of people. He will create jobs for all cities, but he realizes Detroit right now is a city that is on the radar that is in desperate need.
People say that he's there and they accuse him of pandering, that he got the questions in advance and he worked on the answers and that it was very much staged for the cameras as opposed to being sincere. How do you respond to that?
Let me tell you what, Mr. Trump is very sincere. He is not pandering. He realizes that we're all Americans. He wants every American voter. He's saying, look at what Hillary and Obama have given you. Nothing. We are now at a deficit. The poverty level is over 26%. The unemployment rate is double that. That is thanks to President Obama. And if Hillary Clinton is elected, that's what you all have to get again. That's what you will get again. He's the most sincere man that I know. Mr. Trump is in there. I mean, going into an unknown territory is very dangerous. I think it shows leadership. I think it shows a strong leader who listens and who learns. And that's what I want in my next president.
What is the response from the campaign today to all that we learned about Hillary Clinton's interview with the FBI yesterday?
Excuse me?
What is the response from the campaign to all that we learned from Hillary Clinton's interview with the FBI yesterday? All those details were released, you know, showing that she didn't recall her training, that she didn't know what the C meant on the various emails. Is there a response from the campaign to that today?
Absolutely. That is, Hillary Clinton is disqualified from becoming, for running for presidency. She should be 100% disqualified, and the American people are smart. That's why her numbers are going down and Mr. Trump's numbers are going up. People realize exactly what they're going to get with her, and that is a person who lied and was extremely careless with all of our security.
Tanya Gortz, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.